I live in Phoenix, and this year we experienced what the pros were calling a super bloom. I'm talking acres and acres and acres of nothing but wildflowers. I mean, yellows and purples and pinks. I mean, it was absolutely stunning. Now, spring has since passed and summer is upon us. I'm filming today. It's like May 3rd actually, and the temps, well, they're like hovering in the 90s. I think we may have broke 100 already, and it is hot and bright for like 12 hours a day now, and it's gonna get a little worse. I'm not here to talk with you about the weather. What I want to talk to you about, because this time of year always reminds me, is the importance of environment. Before we go any further, hey, hi, hello, aloha. I am Heather Patterson, and I wear a lot of hats here on this channel: coach, teacher, educator, sometimes entertainer. And personally, hats like significant other and bonus mama and friend and sister, daughter, community member, and clearly wildflower lover. So on this channel, because it is my purpose, it is my passion, it is the reason why I am here, is to educate, to inspire, to give you tools and strategies so that you can understand your mind and use the power of your mind so that you can create a truly happy, truly abundant life. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are back for more, hey, thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. All right, so environment. Like I said, this time of year always reminds me of the power, of the importance of your environment. Not our environment. Of course, that is important. That's not what I mean. I mean your environment as relates to you, creating that happy and abundant life. Whether it's in business, whether it's in fitness and health, or your finances, your fun and your recreation, all aspects, your environment is critical. So playing with that plant conversation, right? I mentioned the plants and they're blooming here in Phoenix, and it was absolutely amazing. But what you may or may not know is that originally I'm from Maryland, from the East Coast, central part of the East Coast. And this time of year, it is like, it's tulip time. It is trumpeting, what are those called? Petunias time. It is daffodil time, or little delicate, little impatient flower time. That's what's happening where I'm from originally. And it is really tempting because while it's not super common, I do see those plants, those flowers out here in the Southwest, and it's super tempting for me to want to plant them here in my home. Yet when I think about it and I think what's required for them to thrive here, well, it's going to take a tremendous amount of water. It's going to take shade that I don't necessarily have. And it's going to take some very specific expertise to have those plants be thriving. So the beauty and even the nostalgia that comes with those East Coast plants, I have to set it aside and go, really, what is best for the current environment? So those are things like succulents and cacti, all the things that are more native and suited for this environment. So you can see that this example is really easy to follow when we talk about it with plants. In the same way, if I were to take one of those saguaro cactuses, right? The ones that you see in the cartoons that kind of look kind of silly, right? If I were to take one of those and transport it back east and pop it into Harford County, Maryland somewhere, say over at my bestie's house, well, as good of a job as she could do to tend and care for that, the chance of it thriving there is very low. It's too wet, it's too temperamental, too humid for that plant. So it's so easy for us to carry this thread and understand when we look at things like plants or even animals, how environment matters so much. And often we overlook it when it comes to ourselves. See, you and I, we're no different. Our environment matters. It's critical. We have to ensure that we are in an environment that allows us to thrive based on our true, our authentic selves. For example, let me give you a real life example, okay? For example, I used to hold a position that required me to cold call, right? Picking up the phone and calling a stranger. And I very truly, that is not my jam. That is not authentic to me. Now, did I do it? Yeah, I did it more so out of compliance and out of fear that I would get in trouble if I didn't do it. But was I successful? No. No. Did I experience success on occasion? Yes, I did. Couldn't tell you how that happened. It was very luck of the draw sort of situations, right? However, when I shifted my approach and I was in my authentic, in my highest and best use, the way in which I become magnetic, and in fact, in a similar way as you're experiencing me now, in a coaching and training, educating capacity, boom, success. There's no coincidence there. Right? That was like me attempting to plant impatiens or delicate petunias out in the middle of the full sun here in Arizona. It won't work. Are you with me? Can you relate at all? When you think about maybe it's career or your business, the clients that you are serving, maybe it is your marketing approach, maybe it's your fitness and how you're working out, or your nutrition and how you are eating, how you're socializing, or who you are with, where you are going. What is it for you? As I mentioned, your environment is a critical component of your success. And I don't mean just success as it relates to the results that we can count. I also mean around the success and the results that we are experiencing internally, that we feel. Our happiness, our joy, our awe, our wonder, our connection to ourselves, to one another. So the question is, does my environment support me and my goals in a way that allows me to be fully and authentically me? The whole question applies. The whole question, right? So does my environment support me and my goals? First part, right? Second part, in a way that allows me to be fully and authentically me. Here's what I want you to do. You could ask that question and begin to unpack it. Now, if you'd like some support in going a bit deeper, there are kind of two buckets for you to consider. And these buckets are your external environment and then your internal environment. The good news here is they're both controllable. I don't really ever want you paying a lot of attention to things that you can't control. What's the point in that? So we're going to look at the things that you can control. First, external environment. This is the places in which you are putting yourself, your actual physical environment, your workspace, right? Like how I have mine. Not that you need one like mine. That's not what I meant. But your workspace, is it set up to fully support you and your goals in a way that is authentic and true for you? Right? Maybe it's your home. Maybe it's the gym that you go to. Maybe it's where you socialize or where you worship. And then we've got an external environment around who we are surrounding ourselves with, the people in which we are hanging out with, working with, experiencing romance and love with, growing with, learning alongside. And then we have our internal environment. And I want you to think about this. When you are inviting information in, it is creating an internal environment, right? Sometimes that environment or the influences, let me just get into the influences there. So things like social media, the entertainment that you are consuming, whether it's music, theater, movies, TV, social media, news, right? That's my judgy face. I got some judgment on the news, all right? When you think about your external and your internal environments and how they are affecting you, your attitude, how do you feel? Do you feel energized, engaged, supported, encouraged? Like that you can be yourself? Perhaps do you feel like you have, people that you are in admiration and adoration with, right? Or that you are able to be of helpful service and contribution? How are you feeling? Or on the flip side, maybe you're feeling drained. You're feeling, deflated, stuck. Maybe you're feeling worrisome, doubtful, fearful, confused, overwhelmed, anxious. I want to stress this. Your external and your internal environments, like I mentioned, they are controllable. So when you heard me go through that list of external and internal and how are you feeling, chances are something came up for you. And if it was just one thing, lucky you, because chances are something else and something else came up for you. It's not uncommon and it's okay. I want you to rest assured and feel, all right about, wow, I just had an aha about my environment. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? See, having the awareness, getting that aha, well, that's one thing. But you got to take some action. Education and awareness without any action and application, implementation, that's just entertainment. And I'll tell you right now, that's not what I'm here for. And I don't think that you're here for that either. Our environment is often just a product of habit. We've always watched that. We've always hung out with. We've always gone there, right? But is it time? Is it time for you to make a change, right? To, incorporate a new habit, replace this, person or place or thing, with something that is more aligned, right? Is it time to create some space or implement some boundaries? There isn't really a right answer here. There's not a single answer here either. There are your answers. And while I help people arrive at their answers and what's true for them, I don't give answers, right? You have the answer. Think about it. Think about what implementing your answers could mean for you. Is it more joy, more lightness? Is it more growth and movement forward? More excitement, more optimism? I don't know. I don't know what it is for you, but I want you to think about it. I want you to think about what is possible. And if that's not, moving enough, I want you to think about what if you stay right here, right now? Will you be that impatient in the hot, hot sun, shriveling up and dying a slow death? Yes, that's dramatic and it's on purpose. Often I have to go down the route of what the pain is because, I don't know, for some reason the possibility just isn't as interesting to some people. No more shouldas, no more somedays. Listen, the time is now. So what are you going to do? Hey, before I go, I want to make mention, if you enjoyed this video, then likely you're going to enjoy it over in my workshop. It's called the Smile System Workshop. I hold it on a regular basis. I want to see you there. You can go and find out more over on my website, heatherpatterson.com/the Smile System. It's a 5-step framework that I developed, and I hold workshops regularly on that framework. Again, if you like this, you'll like that. So I'll see you over there. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.